everyone. Welcome to Land and Sea. I'm Jane Adey. This week we're taking you to a spectacular and storied place in Newfoundland's Bonavista Bay. We're traveling by boat from Dover to idyllic Bragg's Island, where local tourism operators are changing hearts and minds about one of this province's most fascinating predators. A story we're calling Sharks Reconsidered.
Size of your machine.
So how long is this line?
That line will go about 450 yards or so.
Oh, fab.
Big, hungry fish like these are swimming and feeding in the waters all around this province. This is a blue shark, the type of shark that's commonly seen late summer when the ocean warms up. Earlier in the year, in colder water, even bigger porbeagle sharks like this one caught in Placentia Bay frequent Newfoundland and Labrador's coastal waters. Traditionally, these fish have been feared and vilified. Many in Bonavista Bay remember frightful feelings.
It had to be destroyed. If we got it, we had to destroy it. I can remember here when, kids would be out playing and there'd be a shark carrying a tickle going around. Somebody with a gun, or 3 or 4 people with a gun, would be here and they'd be shooting at it because they were afraid of it.
Man, it's cold, isn't it?
Oh, it's cold today. Some difference in temperatures.
Alec Oram was born here on Bragg's Island. He's walked these paths and tied on to these wharves all his life. He's also fished these waters for more than half a century. When he was young, the only good shark was a dead one. Like this massive basking shark that tangled in Oram's cod trap back in 1984.
We had 1,800 pounds of liver. And of course we cut the fins and we measured it from his nose to his tail, and it was a few inches shy of 30 feet.
And that wasn't the only shark caught in local nets. Oram says these much smaller sharks, called dogfish, once plagued fish harvesters. He says there was a time when dogfish were so common that they were actually burned to heat homes.
There's a rock when you come in through that harbour. And in the older days, all the fishermen, when they were using trawls, and they would collect all their dogfish. And as they came in the harbour, they threw them all out on that rock. And it would be a mountain of dogfish. And then in the winter, after it dried out, some people used to go get them and use them for fuel for their,
They put them in the wood stove?
Yeah, they put them in the wood stove and burn them.
That was decades ago, when there were dozens of families living here. In the mid-1950s, Bragg's Island was one of the first places the province resettled. But people returned here to spend summers and fish.
Kick your stop.
This is Alec back on the island in the late 1980s. At that time, CBC spoke with Alec's mother about her attachment to Bragg's Island as part of a story about the province's resettlement program.
This is where I was born to, and this is where I lived all my life, and I didn't want to leave. So, well, I felt very emotional, sometimes I would cry.
Like his mom did, Alec feels a sense of peace on Bragg's Island. His son Brian Oram does too. He spent summers here and shares his family's deep connection to this place.
This is where it all started. It was right here, in this place. Yeah.
I can remember seeing sharks in Tickle when I was young.
Yes, of course. Yeah. We always see sharks in the Tickle.
Which would have been porbeagles back then.
Yes, they would have been, yeah. So, especially when the mackerel stocks was up and the herring stock, this was the prime place for herring and
Yes,
mackerel.
that's right. Yeah.
Running through here.
Yeah.
So of course we would see sharks here all the time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a boy, Brian was hooked. He became fascinated with these apex predators. And more than 10 years ago, that fascination led to this.
I think she saw us.
I think she had a look at us, yeah.
His passion for sharks inspired Brian to start a company that fishes for them with rods and reels. Not to kill sharks or sell them, but to show off their beauty, gather information for research, and release them back into the ocean.
There she goes.
Well, I didn't say anything to him. I always supported him, but I thought it was, you know, the craziest thing that I ever heard in my life. And, you know, I came out with him and, you know, everything changed for me.
Alex says witnessing this firsthand has completely transformed his long-held ideas about what were once seen as the devil's fish. And it's opening other people's eyes in the community, too.
I had a conversation there last week with an older fisherman, 86 years old, still fishing, that caught a shark in his net, and it was live, and he actually took the time to cut it out and set it free, right? And when he set it free, he said, "This is another one for Brian." You know, so he changed a lot of, you know, locally, and he's done a lot in the time he's been at it, right?
Alex says Brian's fishing tours are a hands-on education about the importance of protecting sharks.
What Brian has done here is not only me, but for a lot of people. You know, like especially the younger people coming up, and Brian has went to schools and he spoke to the young people, and he's bringing young people out there and they're seeing it firsthand.
That's a big one.
For the Oram family, it's a completely different kind of fishing than they've done here in the past. A kind of fishing that keeps Brian and his father connected to a place they both love.
It's been the best blessing for me ever to be able to come out here again and work on the ocean, and not only work on the ocean, but, you know, in some small way, give back. What do you think, Leslie? How big do you think he is?
I don't know, like, he feels really big.
When we come back, we'll head out on the water for an epic battle on the shark grounds off Bragg's Island.
You're doing really good, Leslie.
In summer, Bragg's Island is a shimmering gem on the northwestern side of Bonavista Bay, but it's been largely overlooked by tourists. That is changing, though, with help from a once dreaded toothy predator.
Growing up as a kid, the word shark put the fear almost in you.
Alec Oram has learned to value sharks like these. What he once feared and wanted to destroy now amazes him with its graceful power.
I'm not scared of them anymore because I've handled that many, and they're not this eating, killing machine that what everybody says they are.
The stuff he ground up last night would have been...
Why is Alec handling sharks? Well, these days his son Brian offers a shark fishing tour. So the Orams share what they've learned about this species with as many people as they can. This summer, Leslie Corrigan was one of their guests.
So what do they eat, the blue sharks that you're catching now?
They'll eat almost anything, I would say, yeah.
This block of minced fish has a smell so pungent you can almost see it. The shark chum, as it's called, is made by running herring through a wood chipper.
We got some juice here. It's juicy.
The result is a gruesome fish smoothie that's irresistible to sharks. takes a while to get to the spots that have proven best for shark tagging. Then the chum goes overboard. In the meantime, Brian baits a circle hook with juicy bits of cod and sends it down into the deep. After that, everything slows down as we wait for a shark to take the bait.
We have the chum in the water right now, so that scent trail is moving on the tides and it's moving down the water column. So if you think at the back of the boat right now, the chum is leaving and it's kind of coming in. We got a shark on right now, actually.
For the shark and the crew, blood starts pumping. They've hooked a blue shark.
See if we can, if he's there. There we go, boy. Can we get the biting belt on Leslie?
Get you geared up.
A lot of times you're going to feel like you're not doing anything, but I guarantee you are. Okay, you ready?
Guarantee.
Okay, here you go. Ready?
Okay.
Start.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So sometimes it might feel like he's. You just hold on. That's all. That's okay. That's fine. Yeah.
No, I can't even move it though.
No, that's good.
Can I move that?
I'll move that. Yeah.
Thank you.
You got the rod?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got that.
Sorry, we had to cut that interview short.
Okay.
So right now he's kind of holding his ground, so he's not really running super, but he's just holding it there.
Soon, Brian confirms it's a female. As with most shark species, they're larger in size than the males. Females are 95% of what Brian catches out here.
Normally when we get them up close to the surface, they have a look at the boat. They'll kind of bolt
Shut up.
and they're gone again and you kind of start over, but we'll see what
You
happens.
start over.
We'll see what happens here.
Blue sharks can live 20 years or longer, and this one has lots of energy to burn.
All the work you just did is just...
No. I feel like this is Moby Dick. I'm not the first person to say that, I'm sure.
No, definitely not. I don't know if I can pull ahead a bit there. She's not done yet. She's beautiful, actually. Look at her. Hi, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. Okay, all right. She's gonna go, yeah. Let her go.
No.
So, blue sharks are notoriously difficult boat side. Anybody who shark fishes them will tell you. They're very, very twisty sharks. They like to do barrel rolls and kind of, you know, a lot of times if you handle a blue by the tail, it can almost, you know, spin around and get you. They're really flexible sharks as opposed to some other ones. She got to be good and tired before we're going to be able to
Girl,
handle
come
her.
in.
Yeah, she still wants to go yet.
When we return, we'll find out if Leslie ever lands that beautiful blue shark, and we'll learn more about how citizen scientists are gathering data to improve our understanding of the sharks in our waters. In the waters off Bragg's Island, it's been a back and forth battle for Leslie Corrigan and a feisty blue shark. She's on board with Brian Orem, who offers shark tours in Bonavista Bay. His dad, Alec, is along for the excitement. The big moment has come for Leslie, as it looks like the big fish is finally coming to the boat.
So I'd say she'll go 7 feet. She's a nice shark.
She's beautiful. Oh my gosh.
She's beautiful. You can see how vibrant blue they are. Use that tail, buddy. All right, girl. You're okay. You're good. You're good.
Once the shark is alongside the boat, The citizen science part of the tour begins.
Look at the color of her.
Fisheries and Oceans Canada encourages anyone who sees or catches a shark to let them know. Information about the size, the species, and where a shark was caught may help them determine where sharks feed, reproduce, or even raise their pups. Brian doesn't work for Fisheries and Oceans, but like any citizen scientist, he shares the information he gathers about sharks with the government and his guests.
Mindful of your hands, always mindful of your hands.
First, Brian inserts a tube into the mouth. These sharks are ram breathers. That means they need to have water constantly flowing over their gills. In the wild, these animals never stop moving.
So let's get an approximate here over. It's kind of down. Okay, so she's 73 inches. She's in really good shape. No scars, no injuries or anything that I would report on her or anything like that.
As part of their work, Brian and crew are trying to help advance our understanding of sharks and protect them. They estimate that they've gathered data on more than 500.
So this is shark 576.
Before the fish is released, it's given a small red tag that includes a unique number.
576, yeah.
So the next time that shark is caught, researchers will have information about its movements. Someday, that might help answer questions about the impact of climate change on the ranges of different species of sharks. Why some sharks seem to have become more abundant, and why some, like dogfish, aren't seen by fishermen as much as they once were.
I think it's extremely important, if we don't, take advantage of this opportunity we have and try to further science and further develop our knowledge and help these sharks, then we could lose them, which could then result in really a collapse of our ocean.
Sharks encourage balance and biodiversity in the ecosystem. They feed on marine life that's abundant and allow other species a chance to grow.
Okay, Leslie, here comes the tail for you.
Oh my God.
Come on, baby. Come on, girl. She's very, very cranky. Come on. So you can see she's oh, here we go. Oh, there she goes.
Oh my God.
High five.
I did. Imagine.
When this healthy female has pups, she could produce an average of 25 to 50 young sharks. That's good for the ocean and for shark lovers too.
First time seeing a shark, yeah. I think when we grew up in Newfoundland, we didn't even know that there were sharks here. Certainly not 6 feet long. But yeah, incredible experience for sure.
So my job is to keep us straight on with the wind because it minimizes motion.
Dwayne Collins, who's been at the wheel this trip, is in awe of sharks and in awe of the local beauty too.
Well, every trip is kind of different. Sharks don't read the guidebooks, right? But we always have a fantastic time. This is a world-class deep-sea fishing experience right on our doorsteps, our backyard here in Newfoundland.
Dwayne has noted the water around Bragg's Island is getting warmer, and that's an environment that blue sharks enjoy.
Blue sharks are actually something that seems to be, for this area of Newfoundland, seems to be new. It's something that growing up I didn't see here, and now you're seeing it more and more frequently, more and more consistently. Poor beagles were always here. They're a cold water shark. In Newfoundland, you even have a traditional name for them. If you hear old timers talking about mackerel sharks, that's poor beagles.
Okay.
And you don't have that with blue sharks. So there is a bit of an indication of a changing ocean as well.
While there might be concern about a changing ocean, Dwayne hopes for a positive change in attitudes and a greater appreciation for places like Bragg's Island. Dwayne sees it as an underdeveloped tourism gold mine that's sometimes taken for granted.
I use the phrase, the fish doesn't know it's wet. I think as Newfoundlanders, we don't realize we live in an exotic location and that people from all over the world, when they come here, they get a very edge of the world kind of experience and feel. And there's so few places in the world where you can come and on a single trip, you can go fishing for sharks, you can see humpback whales, you can visit islands where people have lived hundreds, even thousands of years when we talk about the indigenous archaeological sites we can visit. It really is a fantastic spot to explore.
Alec Oram has always known Bragg's Island is a magical part of the province. There were times after the cod moratorium when it was a struggle to maintain his family's connection to this place. These fascinating predators have helped his family reconnect to his home. And now he has hopes to share Bragg's Island with curious travelers from all over, especially lovers of sharks.
Every year that's starting to come, it's starting to improve. And Brian has done a remarkable job in getting that out. And he's getting people, you know, from all over the world. And it's great for this place. It's great for the small community of Air Bay because people are coming through, and certainly great for Newfoundland. So I can see this growing. I really can, you know, and I'm still around to see it.